On today's video, we're looking at 5 perfect drivers and 5 budget alternatives. So if you are looking to save a little coin and still play your best golf, this is a video you're gonna wanna watch. Let's dive right into our first driver on the list. For me, the best release of 2025 was the Callaway Elite. It is so good, in fact, that I put it in my own golf bag. Now, this driver is $619 at MSRP with a stock shaft, but it's an amazing combo of distance and forgiveness. My Golf Spy ranked the triple diamond version its best overall driver of 2025, and of course, I would have to agree with that assessment. There are some amazing technological innovations packed inside the Callaway Elite. Callaway used rapid prototyping with a titanium printer for an aerodynamic design that increases club head speed. In fact, in Callaway's own testing, they were able to increase the club head speed of amateurs and pros alike up to 2 miles per hour, which is pretty impressive. Another amazing piece of technology in the Callaway Elite was their AI 10X face, which used 25,000 control points for crazy good forgiveness. When I ranked the Callaway Elite, I gave it 5 stars for distance, 5 for forgiveness, 4.5 for workability, 5 for aesthetics, and 4 for value, for a total of 94 points. An incredible performer all around, but I wish I would have tried this driver first. This is the McGregor Turney Max, and it retails for $249. Insane price. It features the same colorway with those green accents, and on top of it, it gives you very similar results in the categories that the Elite shines: forgiveness and distance. In fact, I found distance to be within a couple yards of the Elite, and while it's slightly less forgiving, it's actually more workable as a driver. So if you prefer shaping your shots left and right, the McGregor Turney Max works really well for this. Now, out on course with the McGregor Turney Max, I gave it 4.5 for distance, 4 for forgiveness, a full 5 stars for workability, 5 for aesthetics with its nice clean looks, great sound, and great feel, and I gave it, of course, a full 5 out of 5 stars for value. The McGregor Turney Max ties the Callaway Elite with a total of 94 points as well. Let's move on to one of my favorite drivers and another driver that I had in the bag. This is nearly a perfect driver. It's the Ping G430 10K Max. I purchased this driver with my own money for $599 at the PGA Tour Superstore. And I was happy to spend it because when it was released, I thought it was the best driver I had ever played. It is that good. And it was in my bag for an entire year. This is the first ever 10K MOI driver, which means it's super forgiving on off-center hits. Whether you hit it high, low, towards the toe, or towards the heel of this face, you're going to get incredible dispersion. I hit more fairways with the Ping 10K Max than any other driver I've ever tested on this show. Now, one drawback of this Ping 10K Max is that it's not the longest, but like I said, you're gonna find more fairways and you're gonna be in play more often. So if that sounds like something that you're really interested in, I've got a driver for you. You can save some serious cash and get a 10K driver of your own for only $399 at MSRP, and I would assume considerably less on the secondhand market. The driver I'm talking about is the Tour Edge Exotics E725 10K. I did a video with a head-to-head comparison on course, and I found the performance to be nearly identical. In fact, I gave the slight edge to the Tour Edge Exotics at the end of that video, believe it or not. In my opinion, Tour Edge is the most underrated brand in golf right now. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that PGA Tour players aren't putting those clubs in their bag, but a lot of touring professionals on the Champions Tour are. One amazing thing about the Tour Edge and Tour Edge Exotics lines is they have a lifetime warranty on their clubs. It is industry leading, and everything they make is on par with the big 5 manufacturers in terms of quality. Now, when I took the E725 10K out on course, I gave it 4 stars for distance, 5 stars for forgiveness, 3 stars for workability, 5 stars for aesthetics, and 5 stars for value, for a total of 88 points for this incredible fairway finder. Now, I've actually got a second driver that would be a great budget alternative to the Ping 10K Max as well. If we're talking looks, it's gotta be the sub 70 859 driver. This one also comes in at an MSRP of $399, and while it's technically not a 10K driver, it has that same turbulator look up at the top at address. It's also extremely forgiving, as I found out on course for my testing, but interestingly enough, it's also a very workable driver, and that's a combo that we don't see too often, but the 859 from sub 70 did it really well. For that reason, I ranked that driver 90 points. That's a huge score for me for a direct-to-consumer driver. I gave it 4 stars for distance, 5 for forgiveness, 5 for workability, 4 for aesthetics, and 4.5 for value. So there you go, there's 2 replacements for the Ping G430 10K Max. Now, on the subject of replacements, I've been replacing my meals lately with Huel. In particular, I've really been enjoying their Black Edition powder. It comes in this big bag with an included shaker bottle that's easy to take on the go. It's perfect since I'm often rushing out the door in the morning to golf and shoot videos or take my kids to school. I'm getting more protein into my diet by replacing meals with something that gives me energy to get through the day. It fills me up, and it's actually good for my body. And I've got to say, I'm really impressed with the taste of Huel. It's not super sweet like some of the protein drinks I've had in the past, and there's none of that weird medicine-y aftertaste. There are a number of flavors, but my favorite is vanilla. Now, when I need a little pick-me-up during the day, I've also really been enjoying the Huel Daily Greens RTD. It's a carbonated drink that comes in a can. It's like soda meets a crazy healthy fruit juice. So good. There are 3 flavors of the RTD. My favorite has to be apple. It's got this hint of mint that is super refreshing. Now, Huel's been developed by registered nutritionists and dietitians. It contains 42 vitamins, minerals, and superfoods in the mix. Only 25 calories with 4 grams of fiber and 1 gram of sugar. I'm a person that really doesn't take supplements, so this gives me a great mix of vitamins that my body, and maybe more importantly, my brain, needs to perform at its peak on course. It's that little pick-me-up I need to finish my round strong. You can get Huel's newest product and the rest of their products for 15% off with this exclusive offer for new customers only with code LPT15 at checkout. There's a minimum of a $75 purchase, but with that code, you will save 15%. And there's also a link down there in the description. Now, the next driver on my list is a long one too. It's the Titleist GT4. This is a low spin driver for those of you who have higher swing speeds, and it comes in at a whopping $649 with the stock shaft. The GT line is insanely good. So good, it would be very hard for me to imagine that Titleist can even make a better driver than this one. In fact, we've gone almost 2 years without seeing a new one. It's that good. Now, when I say long, I mean unreal long. I would put it in the top 2 longest drivers I've ever tested here on Let's Play Through. But on top of that, it is super forgiving on off-center hits. And you don't see that from a distance driver too often. Now, if you are in fact a high swing speed player looking for that low spin option, but you don't have a lot of coin to spend, let me show you the Takomo Ignis D1. This is a very low spinning driver for me. In fact, I found it to live around the 1700 RPM mark for spin, which is, again, for my game as a mere mortal, a little bit too low. I actually need a little bit more spin to get that ball up in the air, to ride the air a little bit longer and carry a little further. So while both of these drivers are not a fit for me and my game, if you're a long hitter, I think the Takomo Ignis D1 could work really well. Here's how I ranked it out on course. I gave it a 3.5 for distance. Again, distance for me. But if you can generate your own swing speed, I think it could be easily a 5 out of 5. In terms of forgiveness, I found it to be a really forgiving option as well. 4.5 out of 5. For workability, I gave it 3.5. For aesthetics, I gave it 4. And for value, I gave it 4. That means it's a total of 78 points. But like I said, if we add that distance back into the equation, this driver could be a serious weapon for you long hitters. The next driver on my list comes from TaylorMade, and for the last 10 years, TaylorMade has been absolutely crushing it, consistently in the top 3 drivers that I look at on this show every single year. And this year was no different. The Qi10 is an incredible performer at $599 at MSRP. I love the crunchy sound off the face. I love the feel. And of course, I love the results. And for such a long club, the forgiveness is exceptional. TaylorMade makes drivers that are beautiful to look at from address with classic clean looks. Now, for the budget pick, I've got a driver that will take a little bit more getting used to from the looks department. But if you're willing to do that, you're gonna have quite the performer on your hands. And the driver I'm talking about is the Cleveland HiBore. This comes in at $399 at MSRP. It is super long. It is extremely forgiving. The dispersion out on course when I tested this one was so tight I could throw a blanket around my drives. It will hang with the Qi35 for distance, and I think it will beat it out in the forgiveness category, as forgiving as the Qi35 is. The HiBore is just a little bit better. Now you can get all of this for $200 less from a name that you can trust. Cleveland is part of the Dunlop family, which includes Srixon and Exexio, and it's got the heritage of one of the world's all-time great wedge designers in Roger Cleveland, who's actually now back at Cleveland here in 2025. When I took the Cleveland HiBore out on course, I gave it 4.5 stars for distance, 5 stars for forgiveness, 4 for workability, 4 for aesthetics, and 5 for value, for a total of 90 points. Now the last driver here on my list is actually a 2024 release from Callaway. It's one that so many folks loved, the Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke. This driver at MSRP was $599.99. Similar to this year's Elite, the AI Smoke was long, it was forgiving, but it's the bowling ball pattern that will really catch your eye. Some love it, some hate it. It's certainly polarizing, but if you're looking for a driver that performs just as well and has that same marbled look to it, take a look here at the Vice VG01. The Vice driver, in my opinion, was the best direct-to-consumer driver that I have ever tested here on Let's Play Through. I can wholeheartedly recommend this driver. Now, when I tested it, the price was $399, but literally the day that I released that video, they turned the price up to $499. I'm not saying it was my review. Maybe it was something else in the market, but on that exact day I released it, the price went up $100. Crazy. So it's $499. Still, at that price, I think it offers great bang for the buck with an aesthetic that is surely going to turn some heads. Out on the course, I gave the VG01 4.5 stars for distance, 4.5 stars for forgiveness, 4.5 stars for workability, 5 out of 5 for aesthetics, and 5 out of 5 for value, for a grand total of 94 points. So there you have it. There are 5 of my favorite drivers of the last couple of years and the budget alternatives, and we gave you that bonus pick for 6 incredible drivers that will save you a ton of coin. What do you think of the list? I would love to know down below. Leave me a comment. If you want to look at my favorite irons and their budget alternatives, it's a fantastic video which I'm going to drop for you right here. Click this link. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.